What's up? Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Introvert Boricua with an improvisation, with a live stream, improvised live stream. I didn't come up right away because I was dealing with a little bit of a difficulty, of course. Um, but here I am. It's live. It's live. What up? What in? I wanna I want to start by giving a shout out to my peoples here in the chat, of course, as usual, our elder, Don Jose Negron, from Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Whoever hasn't subscribed to his channel, you need to do that right now. He is far more consistent when it comes to being a content creator. I need to take notes on that. I know that I had to do that, but life is happening. So there are certain things that one has to give more priority to. And we go down here and I see our girl, formerly known as Morena Reyes, now called Titi. Titi Yuyu. What's going on, chica? Todo bien? ¿Qué es la que hay? And a shout out to my guy, Rakim, the 18 letter. What's going on? Here going down on the other comments. Don't see anything else. Okay. So this might not play out for too long. It's just that it's something that I saw that it struck me rather funny. But I'll get into that right in a moment. Okay. Titi, si ya la vejez is catching up with me. ¿Cuál vejez? ¿Cuál vejez? No hables así, Titi. No digas eso. Ahora soy su tía favorita. Well, I mean, I have a Titi. I have a Titi still. I mean, she's older now. I have to call her because she's about what remains of my own family. So that is a Titi that I need to keep in touch with. I mean, she's older now. She's 75 years old. Still strong, doing okay. She's still strong. A little trouble walking around. She's had surgeries. Knee surgeries. She's had a knee surgery not long ago, so that's like the only real thing that she has to deal with. But yeah. Hey, Blood Moon, what's going on? What's happening? Yeah, no, Blood Moon, no le puedes decir Morena, no, Titi. Her name is Titi now. Tiene que ser, it has to be to say, you can't say TT, you can't say that, you can't say TT. No, you have to say TT. That's how it goes. Well, I mean, consistently, Jose goes live. He was just doing a live stream, and Armando did a little bit of a live stream also. So I was waiting for them to do their thing, so then I could go on live. Yeah, stay in touch with her. Yeah, I am. She's doing okay. She's doing all right. So Morena se retiró, está retirada, así que no la vamos a oír más, no vamos a saber de ella más. Ahora es nada más Titi. Okay. Hey, Kichelle, Miss Draglocks, Miss Proud, you with the proud Draglocks. I see your short videos. I mean, we see you how thrilled you are with your locks. I mean, we see that you couldn't be more proud of how your hair is growing, and it's getting long and all. Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because what it require, you saw what it required. It's a matter of just leaving it alone. Leave it alone. Let it grow. let it take its course, and you see the results. Now, there are certain people that they don't have the patience. They don't have the patience to let the to let something grow into what they want it to be. It takes time. It's a matter of having the discipline and having the patience, and you are seeing the results of it. Good for you. Good for you. Even though I'm not so thrilled about the blonde hair, I know that you like it with the blonde hair. I mean, I prefer natural colors, but that's just me. Okay. Hey, Fulana. Hey, what's going on, chica? Yes, it's been a minute. It's been a minute now. Yeah. Now remember, Fulana, you cannot. There is no morena no more. There is no morena no more. You have to call Titi. There is no morena. So if you say morena, you're gonna get in trouble. Yeah. Mhm. Let me see. Going down the comments. Yes, I know, Kishel with the dreadlocks. La culeca, culeca, con sus dreadlocks, la gran Kishel. Eh, Tito Juju, good to see you here. Yeah, it's Titi, not Tito, Titi. Shell. Okay, Jose, don't start with the cold talk. We don't need cold. We need warmth. Warm weather is vital for a human being survival. Stop. Don't start with that. I'm saying it right. I'm saying it right. You know it. Hey, hey, dreadlocks. Yeah, I will sleep up too. Thankfully, we haven't had it so hard, so bad down here. Hopefully, we can go through the month of February without having to deal with sleet. Especially, we hate that. Everybody hates that down here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, because to Jose, 34 degrees is not cold. To him, that's not cold. It is cold for me. It's cold for everybody here. Down here in Texas, hell yeah, it's cold for all of us here. But for Jose, no. There is a reason why I call him Mister Freeze. Let's see. Moon. No, 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 Kishel. No. You have to call her Titi. Okay. It's gonna be 16 on Saturday. Up there in New York? Good, good. It's gonna be 60 degrees. Good for you. What's going on, Irby? What's happening? Okay. Everybody doing their greetings. London, how could you hate that? How could you hate that? How can you hate nice warm weather? I hate when the temp goes up. The BH landlord doesn't give heat. You mean that the temp goes down? Landlord doesn't give heat. Okay, well, isn't that part of? I mean, if you pay to be there, you should have access to heat. The hell. Now I don't know how it works up there because here the same unit, the air conditioner is also the heating unit. That's how it works. That's how it goes down here. 34 degrees in Texas can be dangerous. Hell yeah, it can be dangerous. I mean, 34 degrees, it's cold, but it's not too bad. It's when it goes all the way down to like 20. Then it might drizzle, or maybe it might drizzle a little bit, of sleet, then it becomes dangerous to move around. No, you need sub-zero cold. No, you need sub-zero cold. We don't need sub-zero cold. You need sub-zero cold. Let's make that clarification. Jose needs to move to Nova Scotia. Yes, yes. Don Jose needs to move to the North Pole. Go duke it out with the polar bears up there. Jose should move to Alaska, Canada, or upstate. He'll love it. He will. He will. I don't know what he's waiting for. We love you, Jose, but yeah, you need to move all the way up there, so you can be cold all the time. Nice and cold for you. Thanks, Mixed Dreadlock, for sharing the live stream. Appreciate it. Well, 60 is definitely better than 34. It might not be that warm, but yeah, it is better than 34. Needs to move. Yes, yes, it does. Herbie. Bipolar. Yeah, you're telling me? Well, it's not too, again, it's not too bad down here. We were expecting it to be kind of like polar temperatures at some point around this time, but hopefully let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because at some point during this month, it could happen again. It was a few weeks back that we had certain cold, but let's see what happens during February. Once we clear February, we're gonna be okay. That's when the temperatures should start to go up. Heat is provided by law when it is 54 degrees and under. Okay, I see. Oh, Tyrese wants to be Latino. Know what he meant. They took his statement out of context. He didn't mean anything by it. He didn't mean anything bad by that. I'll get into that in a moment, because he's getting some serious heavy backlash, and he didn't say anything bad. Yeah, Kishore, I'll get into that in a moment. Just wanted to read a few more of the comments. So, any complete climate control? No, you're gonna be a tyrant. You're gonna have a suffer over here. No, he wants to be Latino shell, self-hating. No, Irby. It's not necessarily self-hating, and maybe I don't have so much of a problem with him saying that. I don't think he was even talking about race, and I'll tell you why in a moment. In a couple of minutes, I'll tell you why. I don't think he was even talking about race necessarily, because I'm sure that somebody like him, who is well traveled, he's being not necessarily just to Mexico. Because let me see if I can show you. I need to open up the picture. Okay, stay with me here. Because this is immediately when he says something about that sometimes he wishes he had been born a Latino. Immediately the meme came out. Let me see if I can get it to open. All right. Can you share it with sure too? Okay. All right, work with me for a moment, because you know that I'm never that great at this. Okay, this is the thing. They immediately wanted to kind of let it have it when it comes to that. It's like, come on, stop. So what? I mean, the altar is image, and they immediately had to put it with a mariachi hat and a poncho. I mean, right, because all so-called Latinos wear mariachi hats and ponchos. Like that's not even true. I just wanted to, yeah, I do like Titi said, I do believe that he was being taken out of context. I don't understand what you're saying, Blood Moon. Tyrese is not attractive and will not get the roles he wishes to have. That's the problem. Well, smart by me now. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that. I understand where he's come from. So the black people ain't trying to hear that ish, even if it's true. We so-called Latinos, I know that we're not perfect. I mean, we have our our dysfunction too. I can speak from experience because I mean, I do have love for the relatives that I do have, but my family is much bigger than just my aunt and my cousins and my sister, and it's just that it's been broken up. Everybody has gone their own way, so we don't have like. Uh, Family get-togethers. The last time I can say that we had a major family get-together that was back in the 2000s, where there were still one of my grandmas was still around, and there was also my aunt, and there were other cousins around, but that was years ago. Everybody has been kind of been going their own way, so it's not necessarily perfect. Yeah. I must have missed that. When did he say that? Oh, I'll get into that in a moment. It's just I want to check out the comments. That thing is crazy. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Like they didn't have to clown him like that. Yeah, yeah, that's the only thing that they can come up with. They can only think about that. They can't think about like somebody from the Caribbean like us wearing a guayabera and wearing like a Panama hat. I mean, Caribbeans can do that. We don't wear this. I mean, most Mexicans don't go around wearing this either. I mean, I live in Texas and I don't see, I really don't see nobody walking around with a mariachi hat and a poncho. It's not a thing. And I live surrounded by Mexicans and Mexican Americans, and they don't walk around looking like this. It's garbage. Okay. Wants to play lead in the movies. Well, if he can make a career playing supporting roles, then he could take the most advantage of that as possible. And he's been doing that for a long time. Okay. So, he's not bad. He's not bad. It's because what he's been doing for the last several years has been the Fast and the Furious movies. I mean, you're not required to be that great of an actor because those are action movies. That's what it is. It's about the action. You don't have to really be that great at it. It's an ensemble cast. I mean, he might have Vin Diesel as kind of like the lead character, but it's more like an ensemble type of thing. Do people French? Okay, what was that about? That came out of nowhere. But do people French kiss anymore? What makes you think that people don't do that anymore? I mean, if there is enough passion, I'm sure there are going to be people that do that. Yeah. He can be a character actor like Samuel L. Jackson. Well, I don't think he's on that level. If he applies himself, and I guess he could do that. He could do that. He can turn in decent roles, but he's not on that level. I mean, where you're talking about heavyweights here. I didn't even see this in my timeline. I must have caught up with Drake. Oh man, well that's another thing. I heard a little something about the whole thing with Drake that apparently uh, he's being exposed. But why was he taking those pictures of himself that ended up getting leaked on the internet and now shared all over the place? Who was he sending those pictures to? Look, diaries. Come on, do you date Mexican? Do I date Mexican girls? You know what? Because I have been kind of like focused on dating more women that are kind of like more of my culture, that are Caribbean also, because that's for the most part what I have dated from. Like it's not just Puerto Ricans. There have been a couple of Dominicans and a Haitian and a Jamaican American, but I haven't dated a Mexican girl. Uh, I just haven't been focusing on that. They're they're very Americanized in Texas. Yeah, I mean because it's in the name. They are Tejanos. Tejanos. They are Americanized. The northern Mexicans and some of them don't even see eye to eye with national Mexicans. They don't see themselves as the same. Mm. The mama was like, okay, no, I don't think Gladys wants to be Mexican. Maybe Cuban or Dominican. Look, okay, okay. I'm gonna say something really quick. Something really quick about when it comes to looks, being a so-called Hispanic, so-called Latino. When it comes to looks, back when I was fresh out of high school, and I was going for my first job. I applied to the place. Which place it was? It doesn't matter. It was a fast food place. All kids apply work at fast food place when we were kids, when we were still teenagers and all. And the place that I applied, the manager was somebody who looked like him. That was back home. Back in Puerto Rico, because there are people in Puerto Rico that look somewhat like a Tyrese. And the manager of the place, who went on to become my boss, was somebody who looked just like him. He even had the shaven head and all. So that's why him saying what he said doesn't really mean that much to me, because I know that my people can look like someone like him also. So that maybe that's why I don't take it personal. I don't take it like an insult, because there were of course there were people here in the states, and you can look it up, that were got like cállate, cállate, they were getting all insulted. Um, but that says something more about them than about Tariq. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. Okay, look how old is this little boy. Yeah, I can baby. Yeah, I've seen that movie. I've seen that one. Yeah, these are not a great. That's the thing. That's the thing, because when it comes to acting, these are like movie stars. One can be a movie star and not necessarily be that great of an actor. Those are two different things. Yeah. Is the Drake? Yeah, yeah. I mean, there were. I've heard some things about dude apparently being well endowed or whatever. I really not trying to. I'm really not trying to look at any picture of his. Like Tyrese at one. Some of the Morgan were like Tyrese at one point. Well. Samuel and Morgan were not didn't start out as being singers, so it's a little different. The Kiss was about nothing, guys. Whore? I don't get it. It is 20 years ago now. Everyone tries to clown him. They bring you up to knock you down. Well, I'm gonna put up the link so we can talk about it, Joaquin, and anybody else that wants to join. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's part of it, but in part of that is like, I think he needs counseling. I think that Tyrese needs some level of counseling because he might fly off at the mouth and say certain things that get him in trouble that could have been that could have been avoided. So let me get the link. Okay. Okay. So here is the link. Any of y'all, feel free to hit the link. Let's talk about it. Let me check out a couple more of the links. Of the comments, I should say. I had a job interview today. It was ghetto. They was arguing. I was like, no. What? You went in for a job interview. And people were arguing at the job interview. Oh, yeah. It's like a big never mind for somebody like me. Couldn't be in a place like that. Lack of professionalism. He was on some type of psych meds that caused some side effects, and he was going through all types of drama trying to get custody for his daughter. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. I just pinned the link. Okay. Nope. I wanna get to the comments. I like your comments. Okay. I'll be with you in a moment, Jose. I see you. It was on some type of game. Like show job interview. Nowadays we talking a professional lazy. Yeah, that's not very reassuring because I know that you want to be able to go to a place and people know how to act and all, but yeah. I love that. Then I will apply there. That drama makes the day goes fast. The drama makes the day go fast. I don't know. Especially management. Still with excuses. He still tells that he did it more than once. Yeah, as a singer, he's not bad. He's all right. Not well endowed at all. The video Drake made was for a whore. Oh, talking about one of his hoes. Well, at least counseling. I don't know about therapy because it depends on what type of therapist he will be getting help from. Yeah, okay. What's going on, Jose? What's
Good
happening?
evening.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on?
Well, this has been another disappointing winter, but we just have to deal with it.
No, don't start. Don't start with the whole thing about the winter because the if anything, you should be thankful that you're not freezing. You're not freezing up there.
Yeah, but remember, I love cold.
We know you do. All of us know you that you do. So enough. We don't want to hear it. I don't want to. I don't want to get the chills just hearing you with that. I used to love Anita Baker. Yeah, I mean, to this day, they talk about Anita Baker. I still hear people talking about her. I mean, her being from a different era, from a different time.
Is she still alive, or she could be?
I think she's still around. Yeah, I remember
I mean,
her. I remember hearing her when I was a kid.
she's got to be like in at least her 50s and not her 60s.
Most likely, yeah, she might be more of a in the boomer years because she was already an adult and an accomplished artist back in the '80s. So she was already of a certain age. What's going on, Rakim? What's happening?
What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing tonight? Shout out to my boy, the introvert Boricua. Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose Negron. How you fellas doing?
Hey,
Um,
we here. We here. Good,
yeah.
good that you could come up. I figured that you are on the road. You might be on the road. That will be my guess.
Nah, I don't start till 1:45 in the morning.
Oh, ugh. Oh man.
Yeesh.
Well, I leave out at 1:45.
Oh shoot. Oh man, I thought that you might have been done for the day by now, but oh, it's in the middle of the in the wee hours of the morning. I can understand that there is a convenience to that because you have clear roads and all, as long as they're not icy and you can do your thing safely. I guess that can work better for you.
Yeah, like it's been times where I've been because I haul fuel now. I'm a tanker driver. So it's been times, man, where we'll be like loading at these gas stations, and it's like you lift up those drops, and it's nothing but ice. Nothing
Oh
but ice. We got to take a hammer and a screwdriver and chip away at the ice and pour salt into the drop just to break the ice up.
yeah, yeah. You should take Jose with you to help you with that since he
Yeah,
likes the
he's gonna
ice so much.
he's gonna
Yeah.
have to he's gonna have to roll with me, Jose. Get
Yeah,
it?
Well, I mean,
because he loves that. He loves having to deal with ice, having to deal with frost and things like that. Hmm.
you
Get a
see,
gust get a good gust of this Lake Michigan weather.
I take it it's kind of it's kind of chilly over there.
Oh yes, it's chilly as you want it.
I mean, wouldn't it be great if I had complete climate control worldwide?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, you won't need it here. It'll be just as cold as you want it.
Well, I mean, for me, it would be like heaven.
Oh yes. A frosted heaven, definitely.
Well, anyway, um, I did do a stream earlier tonight regarding divorce. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'll stop by for a little bit. I have to finish watching the rest. I have to finish watching the rest on replay.
yeah. So, but so so who is this Tyrese person? So I never heard of him.
Okay. Well, he's a singer and an actor. If you have seen any of the most of the movies, or most of the Fast and the Furious movies, he's in most of them. Not every single one of them, but in most of them. So yeah, yeah, he's been doing his thing with the acting thing for a few years now. Yeah.
Okay. So what is it? He wants to be Latino now?
Okay. Let me see if because I remember I I saw that he had made some comments, and I know that there was. He said something that came across as that, but I don't think he meant anything really bad. He was pointing out something that he might have observed. Okay, trying to. Okay, I'm gonna try and. Lotma, I saw that little criticism that you said there. I mean, I'm trying to keep the conversation going, and and you talking about that I'm slow at reading the the comment. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm being a little slow because I wanted to be thorough. So what? Don't judge me.
Well, everyone
Okay,
does their streams, as they see fit.
okay. I'm gonna be opening up the page in which he was doing more of a clarification of what he meant. Okay. Tyrese clarifies remarks about wishing he was born Latino, says he wants more unity in the black community. Tyrese is speaking out after the controversy surrounding his Latino comments. The Sweet Lady singer sparked a social media frenzy nearly a week ago when he took to Instagram to express his occasional desire to have been born Latino. In his shocking post, I don't know what's so shocking about that. He didn't say anything particularly bad. He compared the perceived unity in the Latino community to what he saw as fragmentation and dysfunction within the Black community. Okay. Sometimes I wish I was born Latino. I mean, the Latin community is grounded in family, loyal entrepreneurs, businessmen, and women literally represent the dream, the grind, the hustle, doing whatever it takes to stick together against all odds. And that, to a great degree, is true. I mean, we're not without fault. We're not without fault. We're not um, without things that we could be doing better. Somebody who is anti-immigration can be real quick to point out the whole thing with the migrants, and that is being an issue that's not really representing us. It's just that it's very easy to try to put the spotlight on the few that are doing bad to represent the majority. So it's very okay. I could never agree to what has been happening. All of this unrest, this disorderly. You know what I'm talking about, Jose. What's happening in New York? I could never agree to none of that.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me tell you something. This is something that I have discussed quite a bit, and the fact of the matter is, we didn't properly prepare for this with this crisis. I mean, the fact of the matter is that New York is going broke trying to
Mhm.
deal with the migrants, and now the latest thing is they have this pilot where the city is going to spend $53 million giving
Mhm.
500 of these migrant farmers uh, pre preloaded debit cards to use to buy food.
Mhm. Well, the way that I'm looking at it, the way that I'm seeing it, if we're looking at just the numbers, okay, they're giving them these cards, but those cards are gonna be used to purchase things in the city. That money isn't going somewhere else. That is most likely, for the most part, that's money that is gonna stay in the city. If we can look at it that way. I mean, there are people that are having a problem. Understandably, they're having a problem with it because they're seeing as them getting a handout. But I'm seeing it as the city kind of making an investment that is gonna help the economy. I may be wrong, but that's kind of what it's looking like because that's money that is going to be moving in the city.
Um, you see, the way I look at it, it's like, you know, the saying, the road to hell is paved with what with good intentions.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it.
I mean, that's kind. I mean, look, I get it. I mean, they're trying, because they want to make sure that they're able to buy food. Because let's keep it real, the food that these people get in these shelters, it's low quality. Let's keep it real,
Hmm.
okay? Low quality sometimes is inedible, so I get it. It does that. I wish they found a way that they could improve the quality of the food that these people are given. If that was the case, maybe they wouldn't have to get these debit cards.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's gonna be something that maybe they can use at a bodega or something, but not necessarily at health foods or Kroger's. So I don't know how would that work. I've never been in a situation that I had to use one of those cards, and so I don't know what could be eligible for when it comes to what one can purchase with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Continuing with the reading. It, he keeps saying, uh, is, if us as Black Turtle was more grounded in these integral magical nuances, did he actually say that integral magical nuances of us, we will be dominant? He wrote in part of the lengthy IG caption. Okay, this is. I'm not gonna read all of this. Um, but overall, he's talking about what he sees, not just from us, but from maybe other cultures, because the guy, I'm sure that he's well traveled and he's been to other parts of the world where he's been able to witness how other cultures operate, and he was just wishing that an aspect of his culture were more like that, and he was highlighting how with the Muslims that is more patriarchal, which is something that is being pushed back against very hard here, and he figures that it could work out better for his community, and that is kind of like the gist of it. But I don't know, Rakim, maybe you wanna chime in on that?
Yeah, I'll chime in on it for a brief minute. I I understand where Ty was coming from. Shout out to Black Ty, man, because like I said in the comments, a lot of people try to diss him, but the man is a legend, in my opinion. From his music to some of his movies, I got a lot of love for Ty. You know, just like I say, just 15 years ago, a lot of women loved him, but fans are very fickle, and as time goes
Oh yeah.
on, with the internet, everybody has an opinion over the internet now, and people can create traction by clowning him in his personal life or what troubles he may be going through or whatever. So shout out to him.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely understand what he means, and like when, for instance, when you talk about Latino culture, the main word of Latino culture is Latin. It comes from Latin America. So a lot of people that arrive here in the States, whether it be from the Caribbean and from South America, already have their culture intact. They have different aspects of their culture that's passed down from generation to generation versus here, where in America it's quite different. And we did have our culture, but it was a lot of other stuff that played a part in what we're seeing. And this is not all, but this is a section of our community of what we're seeing. And and it's just not out of nowhere. It's even, like I say, it's even when you look at things, or when you're not educated on certain things, and any type of what's the word I'm looking for? Any type of it can be outside influences that will have you looking at your own group in a very different way, especially too if you deal with dysfunctional people within your community, and you deal with dysfunctional people within your family. And it's not like
Yeah.
they didn't prove it's not like they didn't prove them wrong. I mean, look at the way people started attacking them just for making that statement, instead of saying, "Wait, hey, look, brother, I think you're a little bit wrong on this, and this is why." And we can
Hmm.
show different aspects of our positivity within our culture just as well as people frame the negative. Um, like I said before, this is not everybody, but I do understand where he's coming from. Because, like I say, positive aspects, you got people buying land, you
Hmm.
got people relocating back down south where they got big families and growing crops and food, other Black Americans. But in the inner cities, it's a lot of reasons why things played out the way they do. And if you have a child that's born without a foundation, then that causes dysfunction within itself, because the foundation is the mother, the father, and you're having children to make sure you spill into those children, so those children can grow up and be a better version of yourself and be successful. But when a child is only born without none of that in mind, then that can possibly cause dysfunction. And it's like a spiral, a downward spiral, out of control. And
Hmm.
the elements that pour into that as well. And it creates a perspective on how people view themselves and how they view each other, where is, it can be difficult to work with certain people like that. And I think a lot of that too is the backlash Ty has received online for numerous things. Like I was just telling Blood Moon in the comments, it's funny how when he was crying online about his daughter and everything, everyone, oh, quit crying. You like, but had the man not been crying or hadn't been doing anything for his daughter, then he would have been labeled a deadbeat on the internet. So, it goes without saying, man. And I believe, he was going through some things between the trauma with his divorces, and he said at one point he was on some type of meds that was giving him, these very depressing side effects. And people, you got to understand how miserable people is. No matter what he's going through as a celebrity, people are looking at it like, well, you're doing better than me, so we just gonna laugh at you to make me get through my day, because I feel worse than you because you got it like that. So, and he becomes the butt of the jokes, and don't nobody really care what that man's going through.
Well, that's generally how it is when it comes to us men. What we have to go through, we have to do a lot of suffering in silence because nobody is gonna care. We can't count on other people to have any kind of sympathy and empathy for a situation what we're going through because we just get clown for it. We don't be such a bitch. Man up and the that's the thing. I mean, because or they hit it with the trick that they try to get you to show emotion, but then they use that against you. I mean, that's something that I had to learn that myself. So, yeah, we have to suffer in silence a lot, and we can feel a certain way, but we have to do it by ourselves. I mean, we have to do that alone. We have to do that out of view. I mean, because there is not gonna be sympathy or empathy, not for us, never, ever. That's how it is. That's real life for us.
Yeah, Blood Moon said men are not allowed to cry. It's feminine. But the funny thing is uh when you show that you can be heartless, and you just like, man, I don't, man, fuck everybody, I don't care. Then all of a sudden, if you're too heartless, then you don't have any feelings. You're a monster, and you need to dive deep. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. I mean, you're always gonna be in the wrong. Again, that's part of us being men. I mean, we're always gonna be seen as us being in the wrong, no matter what we do.
Yeah, that's a fact. And but yeah, that's my take on Ty. Like I say, man, got a lot of love for the brother, love his music and all of that. But people clowning him. It was some validity into what he's saying, but there's reasons
Mhm.
behind it. You know, but most people don't take the time to really want to understand. People just want to say what they say and feel however they feel about something. And like I said, now that the internet has got a voice, most people on the internet, a lot of people on the internet are actually stupid, very stupid. And but whoever has the loudest voice is the person that leads. So a lot of people that follow behind that. So it is what it is.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Don Jose, anything on your mind about it? Oh, Jose, can you hear me?
Fell asleep. He,
Oh, you might have fell asleep. Oh,
he fell asleep.
oh man.
You fell asleep, man.
Okay, okay. That's all right. That's all right. He can come back at any moment. Yeah, yeah. It was really odd when there was the other time when he was crying on when he was crying on social media, which is something that he shouldn't be doing. I mean, that's something that um if it was something that had to do with custody or his daughter, that's something that he has to fight through the court.
But you know what? Here's the thing with that as well. Like, because Fulana said, let's be real, he was acting like a brat. I remember seeing some of those videos, Fulana, but I can't remember the exact detail of them. But I do remember, I'm not sure if he did that to present that in court to,
Mhm.
show his intentions or how he really cared and trying to fight for his daughter or, or something like that. I can't remember. But, but yeah, the internet is the last place you want to run to your run with with your business, man. The internet is full of a lot of miserable people, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
like you wouldn't tell your business to random people 2 blocks down. It's the same with the internet. It's the last place you want to run to, and people need to. I don't know if people just be feeling like they need to talk to somebody, or they be feeling, but that's the last place you want to run to because it ain't gonna end well. It never does.
I mean, there's so many people that they can speak to. They can speak with a therapist. They can speak with a family member. They can speak with a good friend. But they're actually to be discussing your whole life story on social media nowadays. Now with people doxing others and what have you, and ridiculing you because you decide to share private things on a public platform.
Yeah, yeah, that can only be used against you. So don't do that. Don't share something that is, especially if there are legalities, if there are legalities involved. Because when it comes to uh, custody battles, there are certain confidentiality things that get involved, and you shouldn't be talking about it on social media. So yeah, but no, I don't think he really meant anything by it because he was trying to make it seem like he didn't want it to be the race he is. But the thing is that technically, he could have been a so-called Latin and still look the way he does. I mean, because that is a
Yeah, I
thing.
think
I think
he's
I
talking
don't
about.
think. Uh-huh.
I
He
think
was just talking about the customs and culture and
yeah,
dynamics
yeah,
between people. I don't think he was talking about race itself.
yeah. And like I was saying, I definitely understand the aspects of what he was saying with that because like I understand, especially when you grow up in the inner city, the different people. If you was not born out of a situation where your family is intact, then that, like I said, that brings a lot of problems. You have people within certain families, even within my family that I've ran across, that wants to see the younger generation fail because they're bitter at how life turned out for them, or they're bitter that they made the
Mhm.
mistakes that they made, or they feel like they can't climb up out of the hole that they are. You have people that are jealous within your family structure. You have people that leech. within your family structure, or just figure that since you got it, they can just leech on to you. I got family members like that. You know, you got people that are selfish, that they want to come up and then they want to prevent other people from doing the same, or they don't want to work with anybody else and everything. So that does happen, and you can tell because that negativity spills out into when they're dealing with other people.
Mhm.
And so I definitely understand where Todd's coming from when he comes from that. But the only thing I argue is that that's not the only aspects of Black American culture. It's a lot of positive aspects that most people don't see, is because that's not what's projected into the world. And usually people are surface level thinkers. They don't take time to dive too deep into things. They just see what they see on the surface level, and they take it for face value. So
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, so that's all I had to say. But yeah, I see exactly what he's saying. It's a lot of positive aspects that people see of Latin American culture, whether it be from the Caribbean and or Mexico, or Central America, South America. But it's certain issues that you covered that's within Latin American culture that's not really put at the forefront like that, that most
Mhm.
people don't see. But image is everything. So when most people see a positive image, they just go off of that. Or if somebody sees a negative image, they just
Yeah.
go off of that, and that's what shapes their opinions on how they
Well,
think of these
of
things.
course, because we can say about that there are aspects of our cultures that are still fairly conservative, but they can throw the whole migrant situation in our faces, like you're a bunch of illegals, invaders, so. But one has to look at the root cause of things because it's easy to pass judgment. I mean, illegal. Okay, they're undocumented. They're not in the country legally. Okay, fine. Nobody is denying that. But there are root causes to things, and the root cause has to be addressed. And I'm
Yeah,
sure that it's gonna be very complicated.
and that's the thing. No one ever addresses the root causes of anything, man. They just look at the symptoms.
Yeah.
They never look at the illness. They just look at the symptoms, and from the symptoms, that's what they pass their judgment on. And for some people, truth be told, they like to do that. It
Oh
gives some.
yeah, there are instances we talked about it. There are you and I talked about a certain other type of situation in which it's more convenient not to look at the root cause of it because it's better to for the situation to keep going. So one group of people get blamed and blamed and blamed over and over and over. Remember what we're talking about? So that's a thing. There are instances in which there is a sad, there is a tragic situation that is that is happening, and once has to be held accountable, pointed the fingers at them for what they're doing, but you can't ask them anything about looking at the root cause of things because that might involve accountability on the other parts, on the counterparts. See,
Hmm. Yeah, but yeah, like so. But like Cashel said in the chat, Ty, he's going to probably get clowned by people in the black community for a while, because unfortunately, one thing I can't stand about certain aspects of my community, especially when it comes to the internet, people love drama. People love drama.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the fucking country is damn near going down to the ground, whether it
Hmm.
be in inflation, whether it be in housing, living conditions. But most people just want to be entertained, because a lot of people don't have the mental capacity to be able to deal with reality. Some people break having to deal with that. So a lot of people just want to be entertained, man. And
Yeah, the country about to get into another war.
yeah, the funny thing is, how the hell we gonna even have the men to go to war when we creating or producing weak men, like
No,
especially.
and the thing is that the military in this country is already spread thin around the world. It's already spread too thin,
Mhm.
and there are there are people that are very pro-military, but they're complaining about the fact that the militaries cannot recruit anybody. They can't recruit the talented soldiers, things like that. They're not able to do that. This isn't like back in the day. I mean, they're gonna have to bring back the draft and force people to be conscripted. They're gonna have to bring that back, and there's gonna be some heavy pushback because we already have a whole generation of young people that have never known peace. All they have known is war. They were born like in what, in 2001, 2002. So all they have known is war, being in a state of war all the time. And now the country might is is talking about getting into war with Iran. uh, like no, Iran is in Iraq. I mean, Iraq was more of a sitting duck, but Iran is a bit different. I don't think it's gonna be that easy.
Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely true. Um, Fulana had made a comment earlier when she said that Ty was crying about him not getting that role. And yeah, you're right about that, Fulana. I forgot all about that. You're right. I didn't agree with that at all. I don't know what was going on with that situation. I was just kind of just talking about the situation with between him and his daughter and his ex-wife because I think his wife just up said like his somebody got in his wife's head and she just decided that she was going up and get a divorce. But then the funny thing
Oh, she
is,
admitted it. She admitted it. That it was because of her mom and
oh
other
yeah,
relatives
yeah,
getting in
what
her
I was hearing.
ear. Yeah, she admitted to it.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. So and see keep your mamas out your relationship, man. God damn. That's the thing that get people, and that's what I say. Like whenever you got somebody that ain't got a relationship of their own, and they or they bitter, those would be the people that'll sabotage your relationship,
Hmm.
and you don't want that. You don't really want that to happen. Now you didn't influence your daughter to sabotage her whole marriage, and for all we know, they could have had something great together. But
Yeah,
once you make that mistake, it's too late to go back. So
yeah. And everywhere is war. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. War in the east, war in the west. Yep, like Bob Marley said. I mean, decades ago. It's happening now.
yeah, but in my personal opinion too, as far as like the situation with the migrants go, I can't knock somebody that's trying to make it. I definitely understand, but unfortunately, they're being used as a political pawn. And just like anything else, a lot of
Hmm.
people are not looking at the root causes of the situation. They're just looking at them because people feel better when it's somebody that they can reach out and touch
Hmm.
versus has to actually go against the politics and all of that. Now, I know for here, I've seen a lot of people going at the politics when it comes to the migrants, but the migrants are being used as a political tool because they're being brought in rapidly at such a rapid pace because America has a need for cheap labor, and that's obvious. America has a need for cheap labor. They're not doing this out the kindness of their hearts. They're not doing this because people need help. They're doing it for cheap labor and votes because they're going to bring the migrants here after American politics have pretty much ruined their countries.
Hmm.
Bring them here, create this notion that they're doing them a favor by taking them out of a situation that they helped create. Then turn around and say, well, since we helped you in this situation, we made room for you here to be able to have a stabilized situation with you and your family, then you owe us to vote for this political party.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Because
Yeah.
even when it comes to the Latin vote, it's very fragmented. Half goes to the Republicans, half goes to the Democratic Party. and they want to be able to have a solid base. Just keep it real. This is what it is. Just keeping it real to replace the black vote in the Democratic Party because they know that they have no intentions on giving black people anything for all of the years that they supported the Democratic Party. So they want to be able to create a situation where they feel that people are indebted to them to be able to vote for them. And
Hmm.
that's pretty much it. But you'll have to know about some of those stuff things to understand. And meanwhile, people are bickering and fighting amongst each other while the big boys behind the desk and the skyscrapers in the middle of downtown is getting rich, like they've been doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, along with that and the wars, because the wars benefit a few, of a certain cabal of people. They're the ones that are already like billionaires, and they're becoming even more billion, billions upon billions, and because war is profitable, peace is not.
Yeah, yeah. Crime is profitable. It's always been. When
Mhm.
just think a lot of people forget, man. You stop crime, that's a lot of district attorneys that's not getting paid, a lot of defense attorneys that's not getting paid, a lot of prosecutors and judges that's not getting paid, a lot of labor that's lost within the prison system, where a lot of corporate industries make their money off of. That's a whole is the whole way that everything is structured, man. It's not about being morally right or being morally good, or
Hmm.
it's about money. At the end of the day, money ain't good or bad, man. It's about green.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
that's just
See,
what it
that's see the problem with money that it could be like an idol, and that you're willing to do anything to get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's definitely true. But another comment that Blood Moon said, she said Tyrese is not attractive. Um he won't get the roles. Some people did.
Yeah, I already, I already.
I remember the ladies used to love Tyrese when I was coming up. I don't know how they feel now.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure that he could still pull he could still pull women. I'm sure he still could. I mean, he's a fairly high profile
Uh-huh.
celebrity. Okay, he doesn't get a list treatment when it comes to starring roles, but he's been in these movies for what 20 years. Because if you look at the Fast and the Furious franchise, it's a long running franchise. I mean, they got what, like 10 movies already over a period of 20 years, and Tyrese has been in most of them, from what I understand. And I remember the whole thing about that other movie that he didn't get to be in, but that was a kind of like a spin-off project that was with The Rock and Jason Statham, and they're kind of like the bigger movie stars. And
Right.
then Jason Statham has been leading his own projects for years. Also, he's been a movie star for a long time. Him being the
Yeah,
leading
the
leading
transporter. That was
movie.
my boy. That was
Yeah,
my boy, man. The transporter. Yeah, Jason Statham. He's been around for a while. Yeah, he was in a lot of movies. I think his breakout role, of course, was Baby Boy. But a lot of people don't know. Even before then, you had shit. You had he was on Martin. He had a guest spot on Martin on one episode.
mhm.
A lot of people forget that, but Tyrese, yeah, Pam was like being his A&R, trying to push him. If anybody remember that episode.
Yeah. Because that was I remember that was supposed to be kind of like a pilot for a spin-off that didn't happen. That center on Pam. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yep, sure was. But yeah, man, that was but yeah, I understand exactly where Tyrese was coming from. It's a lot of great things about Latin culture that a lot of people really look at that and want to have that same type of blueprint. from what we see. And when he's judging it from looking at certain things about us, and the fact that like I said, it's a segment of us that fuels negativity, that enjoy being negative, that bathe in it. Sometimes that can be a little bit tiring and overwhelming, especially if you deal with those type of people on a regular basis. So I
Hmm.
see exactly where he was coming from.
Hmm. Okay.
And like you said, the Muslim, what you saw in Muslim culture and everything, with the patriarchy there, and everything has been so role reversed over here. That's a breath of fresh air when you travel and you see that.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's not that's not something that is going away in other parts of the world. So it's good that he could get that example at least. And something that, of course, I know that patriarchy is a dirty word over here, but practice the right way is not necessarily bad.
Right, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. So,
Yeah.
man, it's been great. Shout out to my boy Ramon. Thank you for allowing me up, Ramon. I got to get
Yes.
ready to, get myself ready, because I got
Okay.
to get ready to prepare myself for work and
Yes.
everything. But anytime that you do a live stream, bro, or you do something on the weekend, I'll be able to join. So just hit me up ahead of time, and I'll come and just offer my opinion.
Oh, sure, sure, definitely. I appreciate you coming up. I didn't know if you will be able to make it because you did mention something about you being busy during the weekdays. So I was like, I'm gonna let him know, but I don't know if he can make it. I will appreciate his input, but I appreciate you coming out, man. We're gonna be doing something again soon.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. No doubt about it. So shout out to you once again, my boy Ramon. Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose Negron. Peace out to the chat once again. Shout out to Fulana. Love me some Fulana. That's my homegirl right there. Shout out to Irvy. Shout out to Kishelle. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of the night. Be safe. And that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.
Well,
All right,
well, have
take
a
it
good night,
easy out
everybody. And if you're not done so, please subscribe to the 18th letter and check out his content.
Nah, don't subscribe to me. I don't be talking about nothing over there. But nah, but I'll start doing streams again later on down the line. Um, but yeah, I've been kind of busy, so the stream's been a little on the dry end lately. But shout out to y'all once again. Thanks for allowing me up. Peace out.
there. All right,
Okay.
take it easy out there. All right.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. And whatever you do, try not to lose your cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, to the people's in the chat that I'm little by little exiting. Hey, good night to you all. Appreciate you coming in and comment in the chat. I'm not gonna be on much longer anyway, but I appreciate you coming by and putting in your input in the chat. And also shout out to our girl Kishelle. I don't know if she's still listening, but I hope you have a good night. And we'll talk again soon. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, but I just wanted to make this quick stream about it because I mean sometimes I do feel I feel for the dude. I mean I think his heart may be for the most part in the right place, but sometimes he can have too much of a big heart and certain emotions he's not handling the best. He's not handling it so well. So, and he's getting all clown for it. And I don't think he did anything wrong. It's just that there are people that don't take well another point of view on something. So I'm not gonna I can't clown him. I don't have anything against him.
Well, unfortunately, we have some very immature people here on these two streets that love to take things out of context.
Yeah. No, but I think that, and he stood his ground, which is something that I can respect. I mean, he didn't start backtracking. all
Mm.
over and said, no, I really meant this. He explained what he had to explain, and he stood his ground, and that's respectable.
That's true.
Hmm, hmm.
That's very true. But like I said before, unfortunately, we have immature people here on these platforms, and and you know, bless their hearts. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, try to keeping it all upbeat, but I do have to wrap up because I do have a long day tomorrow, so I have to get ready for bed. And so, Don Jose, any final remarks, last thoughts, anything
Okay.
that's on your mind? Mhm.
Well, like I said before, I mean, I think, what he said was, well intentioned. It just that sometimes, we have to be mindful of what we say, but regardless, I mean, people will clown us and what have you. So, but I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. And again, you shout out to you, and the fact of the matter is, I get it. It does take a lot of time to prepare content. Not all of us have the time to do so on a regular basis. So I get it.
Yeah. All right.
And with that, I'll say good night. And
Mhm.
may we be blessed with a nice day when temperatures are near zero with a good gust of wind.
For you up there, not here. We don't need that down here. So yeah, that's fine. If you want to have freezing temperatures in New York, that's not fair to your fellow. How do you call it? Yorkites or
New Yorkers.
Yorkers, your fellow New Yorkers. That wouldn't be fair to them. But if that's what you want for your city, then that's all right. But we don't want that down here. Not down here. People hate that down here. So
Oh, come on.
uh,
Wouldn't that
no,
be great? Wouldn't that be
no,
great if you go outside and the temperature is like -5 and -10?
no, no. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, sir. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
good night, everybody, and just have a good night, and just be careful out there.
All right. You too, sir. I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, good. Thank you, and shout out to everyone in the chat. Good night. Peace out.
All right. Peace. And with that comes to the conclusion of another impromptu live stream on my humble, tiny little channel. This is the Introvert Boricua, and I appreciate everybody who showed up to the chat and contributed to the combo, to the conversation, to the discussion. Let's do this again soon. And until then, like I said, this is Introvert Boricua. And until next time, peace.